everybody? How are y'all doing today? I hope you're doing very well. We are getting into some sports news for you, but first, subscribe to our channel, tap the bell for notifications, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and share this video with your friends. Here is the Fumble Squad. I'm Devin Howard. You can find me on Instagram as @DevinHoward. Chris?
It's your boy Chris. You can find me everywhere at CK2K.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Jackie Ray. You can find me on all things social media at JRay the Fanatic.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Britt Johnson. You can follow me on all social media at I am Britt Johnson. Jackie barely made it, but she made it just in time for me to say, what day is it, Jackie?
It's Taco Tuesday! I literally barely made that.
In time.
We are happy to have you back, not only for your Taco Tuesday LeBron impersonation, but also for what we talk and do. We missed that yesterday.
Thank you.
So let's get right into the news, you guys. Following up on that Damian Lillard story that we talked about yesterday. So he just revealed more about his mindset after that little tiff, the back and forth with Paul George and Pat Beverley. So obviously, if you watched our show yesterday, you know that the guys and their families started going at it on social media. He missed those two clutch free throws with 18.6 seconds on the clock. And then PG and Pat Bev mocked him from the bench. And then afterwards, Dame said that he took their clowning as a sign of respect. He also talked about how he sent both of those athletes home before. So now he has sat down with Chris Haynes to talk about those missed free throws and to discuss why he was willing to be so open about their beef on social media and why he was like so ready to go with his own clapbacks at all the stuff that they were saying. So I have a clip that we're going to play for you right now. So Leo, if you don't mind putting that up there so we can show them what Dame had to say.
It's gonna happen. You know what I mean? I'm not above failing or coming up short, and it happened in that moment. You know, teams gonna be hype about it. Teams gonna talk trash, but it turned into a taunt, you know, to me when they started tapping the wrist and waving way after the fact. And then I was asked about it. So when I was asked about it, I was like, shots being fired in my direction, I'm gonna fire back facts.
So he fired back. Luckily, the following day, he put up 51 points in a winning game against the Sixers, so Dame time is apparently still alive. Britt, I want to go to you next, or first. Do you think that his beef with Pat, Bev, and PG was the ultimate motivation he needed to achieve that 51-point game against the Sixers? Like, did he have a fire lit under him?
That's how Dame always is. Once it's like the trash talk begins and stuff happens, like he turns it on, and that's what it's every time. Like his little stuff with that's why every time you see him and Russell Westbrook go at it, they both have really good games at that point. They just love they kind of like feed off of that. To be fair, I don't know if you guys watched that game. It was actually the announcer that jinxed Dame because the announcer said, "Oh, he's not going to miss these ones."
Right.
And he misses the first one. Like, oh, well, Dame doesn't miss two in a row, and then he missed both. That is the announcer jinx. He's been doing this like forever now. So it was his fault. Dame should be going at him for the reason why he missed both of those free throws.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So obviously our motto on the show is say less, but yesterday the guys definitely did not say less. So Chris, I want to ask you, do you understand his reasoning for airing his dirty laundry on social media, or would it have been better for him to say less from the start?
I said yesterday, I don't think he aired anybody's dirty laundry on social media. I think that was more of what his sister did. I have no problem with anything that came out of Dame, Patrick Beverley, or Paul George's mouth. All of them, it was all basketball and it was all trash talk. I was completely with that. As far as the sister coming in and her bringing it and making it as personal as she made it, like I said yesterday, I'm not cool with that. I wasn't a fan of that. I thought that was lame. But as far as Dame, no, I got everything he said to me was fair play. Even this interview, I felt like it was on point, you know. And yeah, like Britt said, he's the kind of guy that, like we learned with Michael Jordan, or for some of y'all that learned about Michael Jordan, it takes the littlest thing to give him motivation to play well. And Damian Lillard is proven that he is that type of dude too. So yeah, no, I have no problem with anything that came out of Dame's mouth. I think everything that came out of Dame's mouth was on point, and he was holding his own.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Jackie, we didn't get to hear from you at all yesterday about this, so I want to hear your reaction to this, social media feud that was going on, and also, do you get why he wanted to fire shots back at the Clippers players?
It's so funny because obviously I was watching that game and I obviously saw the reaction from the Clippers player. And then I obviously saw Dame's post-game interview. And I said to my friend, I was like, yo, if I was the Clippers, I'd be sending him gift baskets right now that said, bro, just kidding. We was in the moment. We love you. We know you usually clutch. I would be talking him down because like Britt said, this is what he does. I'm trying to be nice. I'm not trying to piss you off because pissed off Dame is a problem. So, yeah, you know me, I'm what?
Can I ask you a question? I just want to ask you a question. You don't think that the Clippers don't know what they're doing? Because we mentioned it yesterday. The Clippers probably not going to see the Blazers again. The Blazers going to be seeing y'all. So you don't think the Clippers?
Oh, we'll be fine.
Doing by pissing them off? I'm just gonna say
we will be fine. We're gonna get into that
right now because I was like, the Lakers don't want to see the Blazers for the 8th seed. They just don't.
But him and you're right. That's an excellent point, especially when you're considering how the Lakers struggled against, Denver's second string yesterday. So I don't even have a legit clap back on that one because I've been saying it for a minute and Devin's been saying, give him a shot. Danny though, I don't know if y'all saw that I posted on my Instagram yesterday when I called him out, then all of a sudden he went on a 3 string. So
he sure did.
Maybe that'll work. But yeah, you're right. That's an excellent point because we got Houston. Actually, LA, we have a problem right now because the Lakers just are not firing. But to your point, Devin, I know what Chris said that, he thought what his sister did was lame, and I get that. But I wish you would come for my brother on social media. I will dig up every piece of dirt I can find on you. If you've cheated on your taxes, I would put it on social media because I'm petty like that.
Yesterday, I feel like, okay, if you're Ben Simmons, yes, you come at somebody because Ben don't talk for himself. But Dame can handle his own.
But don't you think it's the public disrespect too? Like maybe if it's just that the world saw the public disrespect. At least that was.
It was in a game, and it was for one game. Because Dame he said it perfect himself. He's done it to Pat Bev several times, and we are still making fun of Paul George to this day after this last game. Even when they were making fun of him in this game, we're talking about Paul George more than Damian Lillard. So no, I don't think. Like I said, none of it was out of pocket. It was all basketball. It's just when she comes left field, bringing in.
I'm not saying. I'm exactly with you, Chris. I didn't think there was a problem with anything that Dame said. I get why people are mad at his sister. I'm just saying it's not beyond the realm of possibility that I would have done the same thing. That's all I'm saying.
Jackie wants to know that she is the queen of petty. So
I don't know. Brett usually has me beat on that one, but apparently I'm getting this title on this specific topic.
I've asked the Lord to deliver me from my pettiness. So I'm doing better.
I have not made that request of the Lord. I've made other requests, but that relieving my petty I have not asked him for. I got a different list. That's not on my list of things to ask.
I got a different list. Oh my God.
I'm just asking the Lord to help me not kill somebody right now. Petty, I'm okay with. I just don't want to kill nobody today.
I'll handle that later.
I'm so glad that you know me like that, girl, because I got bigger things to pray about.
Right, I know, girl.
All right, moving on. Let's talk about Bill Simmons. So the veteran NBA writer and podcaster is on the receiving end of backlash after he compared the passing abilities of James Harden and Luka Doncic. So Luka had 36 points, 19 assists, and 14 rebounds in his team's win against Milwaukee on Saturday night, and he had one late pass to a pivotal dunk that's been really very talked about. It's received a lot of attention. And Rockets fans thought that the play looked kind of James Harden-esque. So both athletes are in the NBA's top 10 in assists per game this season, and Bill Simmons was discussing the similarities between Luka and Larry Bird, and he said this. I have a clip for you. We're going to play it right now. Leo, can you throw it up there?
Thing with Luka is the assists are not like cheap assists. Like as you said, he has the typical like the James Harden type of assists where he brings the second guy over and then he hits the guy in the corner or whatever, the cross court, all the stuff he's doing to get guys open threes. But he's also creating these cutter passes. And like you said earlier, guys do kind of learn how to play with him, and they're more active and they're more engaged when that team is doing well. There's other times.
So he didn't really say this exactly, but it sure seems like he's implying that James Harden's assists are generally cheap. There were a lot of reactions on social media to this. Most of them were condemning Bill Simmons and his perspective. There were a lot of highlight reels of James Harden's assists. Lots of people wondering if Bill was actually joking. Some even questioned if there was a racist undertone there. So, Jackie, I know that you are a big supporter of James Harden. Would you say his assists are cheap?
No, not at all. You could, Chris, your face is like troubling to me right now. But no, I would not say the one thing that I always make an allowance for, even though I probably defend James Harden on just about everything, is his step back, because it literally is traveling. So I get why people have a feeling about that and him scoring all these points. And sometimes he didn't play defense as well, but he stepped up with that. But as far as his assists, no, that is not an arguable thing to me. I don't think he meant it the way it came out. And I definitely don't think it had any. You did? I don't think he meant it the way it came out. I think he was just probably, aren't we all kind of just shocked by what we're seeing from Luka right now? And I think he was just kind of trying to say, this is amazing. It's not something we expect to see from. I don't know, but I definitely don't think it had any racial undertone. And if I thought it did, I would call him out on that. I definitely, when I saw those comments, I was like, that's out of left field. I can't say for sure what I think he meant. It did seem like a unnecessary comparison, because you could have literally just hyped up Luka and left it at that and said, we're amazed at what we're seeing from him. His stats are ridiculous. Every time I see a Bleacher Report, little sign from him, I'm like, damn, what is going on with this kid? You know what I mean? So you could have just literally complimented him without chiming in on James Harden. But no, saying he has trash assists, a lie from the devil. It is not true.
Okay, wait, Chris, I feel like you have a comment to make about that cheap assists perspective. So what's your take on that?
Well, I think the last thing you just said was everything, which is why I do think that it was wholehearted. Like, he knew what he was doing when he said it, because Bill Simmons is on record to already have a little bit of a beef with James Harden. Anytime he has an opportunity to say something about James Harden, he always says it. So that's why I wasn't disagreeing with your thought, because I agree. I don't think there was racially toned. I don't think that his assists are cheap, but I do believe that this was a cheap shot at James Harden, and I think he fully meant to say what he said. Anytime he has the opportunity to bring up the Knicks, James Harden, there's so many players we can go down the list. LeBron James. Yeah. Anytime he has any opportunity to bring up any of those guys in a negative light, he's going to do it. So I feel like he said what he said, and he knew what he was saying when he said that. That's all I'm saying. But everything else, you're right. I don't think James Harden does give out cheap assists. I mean, there was a time when there was that way, but now since the team has been a lot better of a team and his game has evolved, I don't think that's the case anymore. And even that example he used was weak, because just because you draw an open guy in the corner and you see him and you pass the ball to him, that doesn't make it cheap. That just means you have the vision to get the ball to the corner, because it's not easy to get the ball to the corner from the top. Anyways, I don't know. I just feel like, it was.
What does a cheap assist look like? What does a cheap assist look like? That's what I need to know. What does it look like?
And a cheap assist to me is like an easy, like, obviously, you're dribbling and then there's a dude wide open, you pass him the ball, he makes the shot. So technically that's a cheap assist or whatever. But to me, I think that's such a whack.
No, if I'm moving the ball in the way that gives my teammate an opportunity to score, that is not a cheap assist. If he managed to get open and I see it, that's not a cheap assist. I don't know if there is a such thing as a cheap assist. That's a stupid comment.
Yeah.
So, Britt, I want to hear from you on all of this. I'd like to know if you feel like that this, comment might have been racially charged, and do you think that James Harden has cheap assists?
I don't think it was racially charged at all. I think it was charged on the fact that, people thought Luka should have been an NBA MVP candidate, and he wasn't. And the only person that would have been able to spot or replace him in that spot is James Harden. Obviously, nobody has anything to say about LeBron James or Giannis being in that spot. The only other person was James Harden. So obviously, in this situation, he's using James Harden as a way to say, like, oh, see, Luka should have actually been in the NBA MVP spot, not James Harden, because James Harden does this, that, and the third. So I think that's the only reason why specifically James Harden was targeted in that moment. And then obviously to Chris's point of, he kind of always talks about James Harden and LeBron, but in this situation, you can't really say LeBron because nobody's going to argue the fact that LeBron is an NBA MVP candidate or a finalist or whatever. So that's that point. The only thing I would say with the cheap assist thing, because I don't really understand the definition of what he's trying to say it means either, but I would say if he was using it as a, I don't know, like to buff his stats up back when he was a couple years ago when him and Russell Westbrook were going back to back with their triple doubles and stuff. And so maybe James Harden had an open shot, but he's like, oh, let me just throw it over here to this guy so I can get my assist up because I already have my points up and my rebound. Like, maybe it was something like that if he's just using it as a way where he could have taken a shot, but he decided to give it to somebody else to pad his stats. I don't know. But that's the only thing I could think of is like what, because I was just like, I know basketball pretty well, but I'm just like, what is he talking about? A cheap assist? Like, I just don't understand it. So that's the only thing I could think of if he was just using it as a thing to pad his stats and whatever the case. But I don't know. I have nothing really to say on that because I don't think he has cheap assists. I don't even know what that really is. So
yeah, I don't know. If you guys in the chat have an example of a cheap assist, please let us know.
Britt hit on the head right there. No,
yeah,
I think Britt.
But even if he was doing it,
it was all
even if he was doing it to pad his stats. Yeah, it's like but he still had how many points when he was getting these assists too? It wasn't like he wasn't taking the shot. So again,
tons of games where he was doing over 40, 50 points every.
That's
single
what I'm saying.
Game. Like,
so you want him to take all the shots, and then we're gonna be talking about him like he's a ball hog. Stop. This I don't know what he was on right now, but yay, Luka, you're doing good. Like we could have just said that.
I think the fact that we're all sitting here being like, what does he mean by a cheap assist, just kind of proves Chris's point that he knew exactly what he was doing when he said cheap assists and James Harden in the same sentence. So I think it was definitely an intentional jab at James Harden, and it definitely, I think, has backfired because social media is ablaze right now with people just calling him out for saying that. But on that note, you guys, that wraps up Need to Know News. So Chris, can you take it away?
Ooh, yes. It is time for Post Up with your boy Chris, Quarantine Edition. And yes, we are starting with Kyle Kuzma, and it's not because of shade. I have no shade for Kuz today. What I'm not going to do, though, is I'm not going to sign this damn apology letter. You don't understand how many DMs I was getting. All these people like, oh, man, yo, CK, yo, Kuzma, hey, yo. No. I'm not signing. It's one game, all right? If he keeps doing it, all right, maybe I'll I'll sign it or I'll check the boxes, but I won't sign it until I officially feel like I should apologize. But I'm not apologizing. That being said, I will give Kuz the props that he deserved because it was a great shot and he actually made it. So shout out to Kuzma. But it doesn't matter what I say because his teammates were the ones that were, hyping him up the most, and we're gonna go through some of the celebrations, starting with Jackie's boy LeBron James, who interrupted Kuzma's interview to show him some love yesterday after the buzzer beater. So here's LeBron.
Play as a team, then that's hell yeah. I mean, yeah, he got it. There we go.
I love it.
There you go. Little smile by Kuz after that. But this next one's funny to me. This one has no sound. We get this one up, Leo. But it's Jared Dudley. Now you see Kyle Kuzma celebrate. Keep your eyes on Jared Dudley the entire time. Jared Dudley is proud of his. Oh well, I guess that was the end of it. But yeah, so pretty much he was getting praised by everybody. This is after the game was over. Lakers won, but Jared Dudley was staring. He's like, "I told you, boy. I knew you was going to do it. I'm so proud of you." Yeah, wait for here it is. Now look at Dudley the entire time.
Look at his face.
Look at Dudley the entire time.
He looked cross-eyed.
And he sees that. It's weird. It's kind of weird. I don't know. This man.
That's that look though. We've all had that look where somebody just stare you down like that's what I'm talking about, but say nothing. That's that look. It's just he went a little cross-eyed. That's the only thing that made that a little weird.
And then he found us way too easily. I didn't like that part too. He was looking at him, and he looks at the camera like, "No, keep us out of this, dog. I don't want to see you looking at me like that." But we're gonna watch it one more time. Watch the find us. See, like, you see this?
Look.
See, I don't like it. I don't like it. Yeah, get off of us. But last but not least, has to go to my man J.R. Smith, who showered Kuz with love no pun intended, as he gave him, showing some love with water. And it was water, people, not Henny. So I don't want to hear that in the chat. But here's J.R. Smith showing love to Kyle Kuzma after the game. Damn, I let him too. I felt LeBron James been saying the same thing from the sideline. Bless you, whoever that was. Bless you. I felt LeBron was saying the same thing from the sideline all the way to the locker room. Hell yeah, Kuz. Hell yeah. Because even after the celebration, you still hear LeBron James going, hell yeah, Kuz. Hell yeah. It's just like LeBron James, he was on repeat, but yeah, whatever. So yeah, shout out to Kuz. Good shot. Jackie did make the point that I was going to make, and I'm not going to bring it back up because then I'll be told, oh, there goes Chris Hayton again. But yeah, it was a good, they won.
Actually, so Chris, when we get to what we're not going to do, you're going to realize how much I don't think you're hating, because there's some points that do need to be made. So just I got nothing to say. Okay. Just carry on.
Okay. I cannot wait. All right. On that note, we will move on back to Damian Lillard, who is done going after the Clippers and Paul George and Patrick Beverley, and now he's focusing his sights on Skip Bayless, which to me, if everything everything he says was true, if all this that we're about to go over is true, I think Skip Bayless deserves every ounce of flaming that he's getting from Damian Lillard. Now, it started off with, Skip Bayless doing what he does all the time, trying to hype people up for Undisputed to get people to watch the show. He throws up a tweet, this one saying, I'm still not buying Dame time, and apparently the Clippers aren't either. Undisputed at 9:30 a.m. Well, Damian Lillard responded to this and quote tweeted it by saying, I have never been buying nothing about you, fam. You a joke, and after our private convo full of backpedaling, you will never have my respect, clown. Boom, face. Now, like I said, if that's true, and I'm sure it is, because I don't think Dame's going to come out here and just spit some lies, then I think he's got everything he deserved, because this is just the beginning. We moved on to to a fan that was on Dame's level, saying, like, yeah, Dame, I'm with you. I wonder what he would say to LeBron James one-on-one. Apparently, in the little phone call that he had with Skip Bayless, Damian Lillard asked about that. He then, with the next tweet, he said, ask him what he said when I asked him, and why you always hating on Bron? I want the answer so bad. I just want to know. I know what he said, though. He probably said something stupid like, I'm just doing it for television. I actually think Lillard, he probably started kissing up to LeBron. Something real stupid. But, Damian Lillard keeping it to himself. I really want to know. But anyways, last but not least, the stupid question was asked to Damian Lillard. Hey, Dame, are you ever going to go on Undisputed? Damian Lillard kept it simple. Just said, hell no.
Right.
Were you not
question is that? Right.
Idiot. Like, what are you talking about? I should block you for that. But that's not the end of it. Even though that's
my favorite voice. I think that's my favorite voice ever done.
My idiot voice.
That was a good
one. Thank you for yes. I want to get the stamp. I like it. But that's not the end. I mean, it's the end of the tweet rant. But now Damian Lillard had some things to say. And he actually said it in an interview with his teammate Carmelo Anthony. For those of you who don't know, Carmelo Anthony has a series on his channel where he drinks wine with some of his homies and they talk about stuff. And he went on with his own teammate Damian Lillard, and Damian Lillard had more to say about Skip Bayless. So here's this video.
Like, Skip, we can talk if he want to talk. So he seeked out my number and called me. And when he called me, I was just like, bro, I don't know you like that. Like, you don't owe me no explanation. I don't know you. Stop speaking on me incorrect, like, for your ratings or whatever. And he just backed out on some, I'm depressed. And,
what? Oh, no. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh like that, but that's where you going? You're not going to say something like, hey, it's clickbait, my guy. We do what we do. You say I'm depressed? Oh, the audacity of it all.
And everything that went before that, talking about, I'm just doing this for my ratings, or that, which leads me to believe that this LeBron James slander is all out of just, I'm just going to keep it with my brand. I've always hated LeBron James, so I'm going to keep it on that. So I don't know. Skip Bayless. But
I had someone tell me that, though, at a major network. He said that, hey, when you make it to the network, like he said, for example, you're just a diehard LeBron fan. People know you as that. One day, if you just want to get a whole bunch of views, say something inflammatory about LeBron because it'll incite people because that's not how you're known. He said that. I'm not gonna tell you it was, but he was like, sometimes I say stuff that's like
I believe
way out the park. Yeah.
Right.
He said it's intentional. He said sometimes they say stuff like that. Simmons, it's probably intentional. You know what I mean? To get.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're talking about him, and everyone's always got something to say about
Skip. Been in the game a long time. So if anybody know how to get us talk, look what we're doing right now.
That's facts. Yeah, well, hopefully one day we will get that truth coming out of him. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But Damian Lillard came after Skip, and I was here for the entire ride. Moving on to, going back to LeBron James, but his boy Dwayne Wade was trying to copy his swag on the pregame show yesterday on TNT, and it was actually pretty funny. And I need to know who you guys think wore it best. So here is that clip.
This is hilarious.
Oh, it's the middle of it.
All right. Hey, somebody set up. D-Wade got that Studio 50.
Yeah.
D-Wade got that Studio 54 look. Oh, man. I can on camera right now.
Open it up there, big dog.
Why are you Is there baby oil?
Did he spray himself with water?
That's what they say. It was baby oil. But he was trying to be like LeBron because LeBron got baby oil in his picture. That's what he was saying. Like, oh, LeBron did it. LeBron got baby oil. So that's why he got the baby oil on too. But yeah, man, they were. Oh my God. Dwayne Wade to me, and when he first got on the show, I was like, oh no, Dwayne Wade, I don't think this is it. I don't think this is gonna be for you. But the more that he's going on, him and Shaq, it's actually pretty funny. I've been enjoying it a little bit more as the show's going on. That's the Tuesday night show. But yeah, funny stuff. Ha ha. We even saw LeBron James react to it after. I can run the clip, but yeah, LeBron James thought it was hilarious when Dwayne Wade tried to attempt his fit. So all in good fun. Best buddies just continuing to be best buddies. Oh my gosh, hilarious. Moving on to Jimmy Butler versus TJ Warren. What a disappointment. Like, TJ Warren played with us this entire bubble, like got us so hyped up. Like, I'm here thinking that TJ Warren is out here, like, he's out here busting up fools, putting up all these stats, getting ready for Jimmy Butler. And then I watched this trash game yesterday just for Jimmy Butler to just not even just tear you up defensively, but then outscore you, out-rebound you. TJ, I believed in you, man. Anyways, I went off right there. Yeah, so like for those who may not have seen it, the Pacers got blown out against the Miami Heat yesterday. Jimmy Butler got all of the last laughs, scoring 19 points, 11 boards, blah, blah, blah. When TJ Warren put up 12 points in the first half, and then decided to stop shooting in the second half because he ended the game with 12 points. And then that's how that ended. Well, either way, Jimmy Butler took to his social media to celebrate this win. Not even celebrate, to troll him a little bit. We can't play the music, but it doesn't matter because all you need to see is just Jimmy Butler just like living his best life. Like, I ain't bothered by you. So basically the caption of this was just mood, and it's just Jimmy Butler just being Jimmy Butler. So, yeah, TJ, look, man, I'm still excited about this series because right now the Heat are in fourth for the East.
That dance, though, what was that?
Yeah, the dance is stupid. It's just Jimmy Butler.
Butler always listens to country music, picturing him doing that honky-tonk. I'm just picturing country music while he's doing these moves.
While he's there doing stupid.
Oh God, that's great.
I can
see it now. I can see it.
But I love it. No, right. Oh, God, I wish we had some sort of non-copyright country music that we could play with. But yeah, so yeah, it was disappointing. Part two was disappointing. Jimmy Butler getting the last laugh. We'll see them in the playoffs. They're supposed to play against each other, 4th or 5th seed, but oh my goodness, I was so disappointed yesterday. So disappointed. But go on, Jimmy, laugh it up. Now, from one person who was hot in the bubble, let's go to somebody else who was really hot in the bubble. And if there was such thing as a bubble MVP award, I think it would go to this man, Devin Booker. Now, Devin Booker, who has been hitting every damn shot he puts up in the bubble, decided that he's going to take his hot jump shot to social media as he shot his shot with none other than Kendall Jenner. And since Ben Simmons won't be playing basketball, what's Kendall Jenner gonna watch in the bubble? So now it looks like Devin Booker made himself available because he just might make it into the playoffs, maybe. Anyways, Kendall Jenner went on social media and posted this picture, and doesn't matter if you see the caption or not, but the caption was just simply a strawberry emoji, and in comes Devin Booker, fresh off of a win against Oklahoma City Thunder, and he was hot, deciding to shoot his shot. I had to do it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. He went up to Kendall Jenner, commented saying, "I like strawberries," and it looks like he hit the shot because Kendall Jenner responded with a few more strawberry emojis. And that's that.
Well, I mean, they're still booze, right? I think they're booze. Remember we were talking about...
Were they ever together, though?
Yes,
Wait,
they were
I
in
have
a
the
car
details.
going somewhere in quarantine. Like, they quarantined
Okay.
together. So that's...
The sources close to them say that they're just friends, but I don't believe it.
Right.
See, that's what I was hearing too. See, look at that BS. I don't.
And now you're saying I like strawberries. Like, oh, so, I don't know.
It's not even.
And I'm just like, I just am so confused with all of that family and why everybody's obsessed with them. But it's
there's nothing about that family that says, "Hey, shoot your shot." To me, it says, "Avoid the curse." Like, I don't understand nothing that's going on.
Maybe that's what it is.
They've been with have literally gone to like crazy
mental
homes,
institutions.
Yeah.
Kanye is trying to win presidency, and he needs to be committed. Something happens to you when you enter into that family. Jordan Peele needs to do a whole movie on that family.
Even
the brother.
Even Kanye.
D-Book.
Every man that comes into that family, something happens.
Something crazy happened every single time. The only time it's ever been broke was one time when
a brothel
Kim Kardashian was still with Reggie Bush and we still won the Super Bowl. So that was the only time I've ever seen the Kardashian curse ever broke. But then Reggie Bush.
No, I feel like we need to do some.
That's the only one.
There's some research. I bet you.
But there's some people that are doing the Chloe and Lamar because they won a championship when they were together too. So they're saying that's two. They're like 2 in 85. So there's 2 for against the Kardashian.
You lose your soul for the rest of your life.
Right.
I mean, there's musicians joining the Illuminati doing the same things. I don't know. I don't know how that's working.
But I will have your soul for the rest of your life.
I'm telling you, Jordan Peele needs to do a movie on this whole family. That's all I want.
Yes.
Because something wrong with the family.
He did do a movie on it. It's called Get Out.
Get Out? Well done, Britt.
That movie been made. I need you to watch Get Out again. Luckily, guys, we don't have to end off on Devin Booker talking about that crap because Devin Booker did turn it around because I did mention a crazy shot that he did shoot that was actually a shot that we all would appreciate, which was this one from the logo in that same game against the Thunder.
Flat-footed. Look, it was like almost that's ridiculous.
Look at the net, though. Watch the net. Watch the net.
Most people
dang, can't even move.
Take a dribble to be able to get some power to
like the net.
Up.
That's insane. That's insane.
Wow.
And again, to completely forget about all that. Forget all that Kendall Jenner crap. I loved his interview when they, of course, as you would expect after a big shot like that, everyone's gonna be asking, so Devin Booker, blah 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 blah. So he answered the question that everybody was asking about, like how it felt to take that shot. Do you think you were gonna make it? Do you practice it? Blah blah blah. Devin Booker answered that question like a G. Here was his answer.
It was late shot clock, and just had to get one on the rim, and I don't shoot any shots to miss them.
I know that's right.
Hey, Devin, congrats on the win.
Come on, son. No, cut it there, Leo. That's it. I don't shoot no shots to miss them. Come on, son. Come on, son. We on that note. Kendall Jenner,
that needs to be a shirt.
Care about that. I'm saying, bro.
That needs to be a shirt. I don't shoot no shots to miss them.
I'm saying with that upside down Nike swoosh on his mask and everything. Yeah, we need it all on the shirt. Yeah, we can book your upside down. Moving on to this last one. Now the streak continues because for the last 3, Tuesday, last 2 post-ups, we have ended off with some sort of shade towards the Astros. And guys, I am not here to disappoint because we have another one. And this one happened over the weekend from Ramon. Don't let me butcher your last name. Ramon Loreno. Is that it? Did I get it? Am I good? Britt, help me. Did I say that right? I hope I said that right. Loreno, whatever. Ramon Loreno, whatever. He plays for the A's, and he went after the Astros coach on Sunday, and man, did it cause a whole kerfuffle. Here was that he went after the dugout and everything. He didn't give a damn. Look at him. He's like, "Come here, all right, then, come here. I'll get you too. All right, then, come here. Let's get it." And then they go in, and then the whole fight started up. I just want to know where he goes after. Look, and he disappears, lost him, and then everybody starts going back and forth, blah 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 blah. So yeah. So baseball world is loving this. People are talking about Ramon, you a G. Oh my God, I can't believe him. Look at him. He's hyped about it, pissed off. I'm tired of your ish. Come here. Look at the run. Helmet's down and then disappears. Anyway, so yeah, baseball world is loving it. They're all excited, like, yeah, this man's a hero. They're putting him up there in the Joe Kelly Hall of Fame, talking about, yeah, man, you Justice G. Yeah, let's get it. Okay, let's go. But now comes Monday, and he says that he kind of regrets charging after him the way he did. Not because he felt bad, but because, in his words, the dude is a loser, so why waste his time? Apparently, according to Ramon, he said that he had said some things about his mama, and, you know, that was his trigger word, so he was upset about it. So that led to him charging at him, and like I said, he's upset about it. He regrets it, and in a quote, he said right after, he said, "I regret charging him because he's a loser." So boom, got him. So yeah, a lot of people are putting... right now with him facing suspension and whatnot, people are putting him up there next to Joe Kelly in the Hall of Fame of, going after the Astros and whatnot. And, yeah, so I guess the shade continues on poster. We 3 for 3 right now.
So what it was, Dodger Nation, baby. I love it.
Yeah, and that's it for me on poster.
All right, guys, thank you so much. Now, Jackie, we missed your segment yesterday, so please tell us what we not gonna do, yeah.
I love it. All right, guys, good to be back. So look, what we not gonna do is gloss over this this comment from Kyle Kuzma. So like Chris was talking about and everybody's been talking about, he made this amazing shot. It was beautiful. Let me just say this. I don't want to bash Kyle Kuzma. He's been getting a lot of flack on Twitter and stuff, people saying he's not who he's supposed to be. I have said several times that, you know, if I had to do all over again, I would pick Brandon Ingram to stay, and I would have sent Kyle Kuzma away. But I'm not here for the shade today, because the fact of the matter is he won the game for us. So I'm trying to be as pleasant as I can right now. But look, there's a reason why he's getting this shade. Before the lockdown, he really hadn't improved on his three-point shot that much. With the exception of last night, he was making 1 out of 5 three-point shots. He hadn't just stepped up defensively the way that the Lakers wanted him to, and he was making ridiculously long twos, like just shoot the three at that point, and he wasn't making them. So, yeah, LeBron wants him to be successful, because we know Lou Williams has proven that having a sixth man, having somebody who can come off the bench is dope. So in LeBron's interview, after he starts clowning Dwayne Wade and all that good stuff, he did say, quote, "In order for us to win a championship, he has to be the third best player on our team." And I agree with that. But right now, he's technically not. He stepped up in the bubble a lot. But this is what he said that kind of has everyone a little bit pissed off. He says, "I'm starting on most teams in this league, and everyone knows it. It just so happens I'm playing behind the 2 best players in the NBA." So I'm not entirely sure how I feel about that, because, like, he's not even top 10 in his position. So I'm not entirely sure. Like I said, he did improve in the bubble, and he did get that game-winning shot. And in his after post-game interview, he said that they practiced that shot specifically for him. So obviously they do trust him to make that shot, but he's also missed that shot more than he's made it. So I'm not ready to give him, like the data boy yet. He got drug on Twitter. One Twitter user said he does realize that there are 5 starters on the team. So he's saying that he can't be a starter because of 2 people. Good point. And then another user said he hits a game winner against the second stringers, and now he's talking about Jesus can't guard him. So I get it. But he's getting drugged to all high heaven. But this is the thing. LeBron said he needed him to be the best third player on the team. I'm going to co-sign on that. And I've said it time and time again, you want your players to be a little bit cocky. You want them to believe that they can do it. So if Kyle Kuzma thinks he'd be starting somewhere else, I am co-sign on it, whether I actually factually statistically, believe it or not, because I need him to believe that he can. I need him to do that in this bubble. Him and Danny Green need to get their whole life together. So I am co-signing on everything that Kyle Kuzma is saying about himself right now. Devin, my fellow Laker fan, do you believe that Kyle Kuzma would be starting if he was playing on another team?
Not
That's a good answer. That's a good answer. That is a good answer. That's a good answer.
His comments, a lot of the comments that he made, like that, Jesus can't guard me or whatever, he's shooting over Jesus. I mean, I just thought it was all like he had a good moment and he was just riding that wave of confidence and feeling really good. So I don't know. I mean, if that's the kind of confidence that we need from Kuzma for him to have these like game-changing shots, then fine. But yeah, I'll co-sign on it too.
Chris, what do you think? Do you think that he was he's just a little too boastful in this moment, because he has to know his stats, right? So he has to know the likelihood of him starting somewhere else is probably not a thing. So is he just hyping himself up?
See, here's the thing. I have homies that are like Kyle Kuzma, that he knows his stats, but the thing is, he is, in his mind, he is the greatest thing. In his mind, he thinks that even Jesus couldn't guard him. It's crazy, because that's exactly, like Devin just said, that's exactly what he said. So no, I feel like this is just Kuzma living up the moment that he had yesterday. And he should be, because he had a great game yesterday. Live up the moment.
Yeah.
Going a little crazy with it, but live it up, enjoy your moment. But here's my thing. Like I said, this better not be a one-time only moment. This better be a continued moment. You shouldn't just score 29 points and the next time y'all play, I'm seeing that this man put up 9 points off of like 1 for 15 shooting. Like that, you can't let that happen.
This is what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
This is what I'm saying.
Gas yourself up all you need.
This will not age well. You know what I mean? Like if this will not age well.
I'm saying.
Yeah, so Kyle, I'm with you. Whatever you need to do to gas yourself up, I'm with you. But fun fact, Jesus walked on water, so I'm pretty sure he'd handle you just fine if he was guarding you. But let's move on to this has got to be one of my say less Kyle.
Right.
But hype yourself up. I know y'all watched the Fumble, so hype yourself up. I believe in you. You can do it. Just do it. Okay, so this has to be one of my favorite Demon 45 moments, because for me, you guys know there is absolutely no debate. There's no question who the GOAT is. It is LeBron James. It is not Michael Jordan. There will be nothing in the history of time that you could say to me that is going to change my mind about that. And now it has been solidified, because your boy, your president, was on a podcast and he was talking about everything. He doubled down on the fact that he thinks that hockey's ratings are up because they're standing for the anthem. They're not doing anything political. That's actually not true. Like I said before, the NBA's ratings are up 14%. He said that the NBA was heading for a literal fall, because he said that they were disrespectful and people are not watching it. He also said that he thought that a lot of the NBA players were very dumb and nasty. He just went on this whole tirade that it was really ridiculous. And then the guy that was interviewing him was Clay Travis. Clay Travis obviously is Team MAGA, because he asked him specifically, he said, do you think it's hypocritical that they're taking a knee and won't stand for the anthem, but they won't say anything about China? And then he went on this whole tirade about China and how the NBA is basically supporting China. But if you remember him at the beginning of his presidency, all he said is, I really love China. China's great. China, I love China. Like, that's how he started his political campaign. So I don't know who we calling hypocritical here, but he went on to, Travis went on to ask him who he thought the GOAT was. And he said, quote, he thinks that Michael Jordan is the GOAT because he was not political, and that's the reason why people like him better. No, Donald, that is why you liked him better. You probably still like him better for those very reasons, because he does not do anything to challenge the status quo. He doesn't use his voice or his platform to help educate people so they know that they have a voice or to give them the voice. He does not do that. He might donate some money here and there behind the scenes, but as far as legit using his platform to push for social change and to leave a legacy where he's impacted the kids, the legacy of kids that he leaves behind, or even LeBron's literally trying to change the world for all of us. Michael Jordan's just earning money with interest. I'm not mad at that everybody has their thing, but he's definitely not challenging the status quo. So the second 45 co-signed Michael Jordan, that's gross to me. He will never, ever, ever, ever be the GOAT for me now. So congratulations, Donald. You definitely confirmed this for me. Chris, if Donald was watching, if Donald Trump was watching the Fumble and he said, I have to say, I watch a lot of sportscasts. They talk a lot about different things, but the best sportscaster in the world is Chris, CK2K all day. If he said that about you, would that make you feel good, or would that make you kind of troublesome on that one? You're the best in the world, CK. I love you.
It would be time for me to look into a new profession, 100% at that point. That is not a cosign I'm cool with at all. I don't know. I don't know. I don't see that as a glowing
endorsement,
like a gold star, endorsement, right? And for MJ too. Like I don't, no, I'm not a fan. I don't want it, and I hope that never is the case. Matter of fact, I hope he never sees my channel or anything I do, because no, I don't even want him to even think about it. No, God, no.
I just wanted to see. I kind of expected to see somewhere Michael Jordan was like, "Oh, that's not an endorsement that I wanted," and maybe he will. But I looked on Twitter; he hasn't said anything yet. Yeah, there's still time. So if he does, I'll talk about that tomorrow. But yeah, so congratulations, GOAT James. That's all I got for what we not gonna do. Chris is over there sweating at the thought of Donald Trump endorsing him.
Yeah,
but we're gonna
just hearing that, like, oh my God, like, I know, I'm good. Okay, yeah, I'm ready.
But with that, we're gonna move on to Brit's takes.
Brit's takes.
You guys have no idea what just happened right now. I just had to log out and just came back on the screen the second you guys introduced me. So.
Oh,
So you guys would have came to the screen and nobody would have been here. But I am back. I made it. I'm here.
That's awesome.
It was literally perfect timing. So today I could see why I was randomly taken off really quick, because I'm going to be talking about the NCAA yet again, and they just knew I was talking about them, so they decided to interrupt my service. But the NCAA is taking another L. This morning, it was announced that a Supreme Court judge has denied the NCAA's request for a state of injunction that was originally issued in March of 2019. This basically, the reason why they were trying to get an injunction is because there is a new thing that is happening that basically will allow conferences to decide whether to allow offers to football and both men's and women's basketball players more than just the covering of the full cost of attending college. So right now, like, players would get the cost of their school, maybe books, whatever, and then obviously just like either they can stay on campus, or if they're off campus, they get like a stipend that they can use just for housing. But this new thing, which there was a football player from West Virginia, which was the one that put this into action, and a judge has now agreed upon it and not letting the NCAA keep asking for these injunctions and whatever to try to push stuff back. And the judge also said if the NCAA continues to try to push stuff back and redo appeals and stuff, that it's just going to backtrack to this point in time, basically to let college athletes get whatever they would have gotten had this not gotten pushed back. So the NCAA is basically continuing to lose here. The judge is not having it. I will explain what this new, rule for the NCAA means. So this is going to be, now the NCAA is no longer going to have control over what conferences decide to do when it comes to paying players or incentivizing them. So this can include things like cash or cash equivalent awards for meeting academic goals and are graduating. It also can include them offering student athletes paid internships after an athlete's eligibility has ended. It will allow scholarships to complete undergraduate or graduate degrees at any school. It also will say that the cost of computers, science equipment, musical instruments, and other items not included in school's cost of attendance calculations can be related to academics. So it's really cool because it gives conferences the option now instead of the NCAA as a whole. And this is, to be clear, this is for Division I sports only, and it's only for football, basketball, men's and women's right now. And so this basically allows the conferences to decide if they want to give their athletes like cash incentives for things. So like if the athlete's like, oh, I just have a semester to graduate, but I don't want to stay here and graduate, they can actually stay that semester even though their eligibility could be up. They could get cash for graduating instead of just leaving school early. There's like tons of little things for getting a certain GPA, whatever the school kind of wants or the conferences want to do for their schools. That's like now an option for them. The NCAA, what they can do now is adopt a definition of what this compensation would look like as it's related to education, because of course this all has to be education based. It can't be a school's now going to give like a player $1 million for his family to have a house. It's not like that. It's basically based off of your academics and your education that you can get incentivized now for doing certain things while you're a student athlete. But obviously whatever the NCAA wants to put as the definition of this, it has to be by this judge, the Supreme Court judge that just ruled in the case. And what also has not been determined yet, though, is the dollar amount of what they could offer students and what conferences are going, like if each conference has just a certain allotment of money or if it's based on the school and whatever they want to do or whatever the conference wants to do, or if across the whole of all the NCAA teams, they all have to say, here is whatever it is, $1 million. This is what you can use and you can distribute it how you want to. This is great, but it is also horrible too, because I just immediately thought about some of the really expensive top schools like the USCs and the Stanfords and stuff, who are academic schools and they are very expensive schools to attend, but they also have very good athletic programs as well. And now we might see what we see in baseball with having no salary cap, that you have more than a handful of the really great players playing on the Yankees and the Dodgers, because those are the two teams that bring in the most money, so they can afford to pay their players whatever they want to pay them. And so you'll have, I don't know if you guys know this, but of all the World Series that we've ever had, the Yankees have won almost half of them. Like, yes, they haven't won anything in recent years, but if you look at all the World Series we've ever had, it's almost half that the Yankees have won, and the Yankees have just been the most profitable team, just in general over baseball's span, or I don't know, they're like 100 and something years old now, but over their span, like the Yankees have been so good that they've been able to win more than half of them, or almost half of them, because of the fact that they just make more money, so they can just get all the really good players and pay them all to play on their team. And I don't want to see this happen with college if they don't come, because it wasn't determined in this agreement, or what the judge just basically put down today. It wasn't determined if this was going to say that each conference is given a certain amount of money. The money actually wasn't determined at all. The dollar amount wasn't determined. So it could be some conference, we could see an SEC, who literally runs the world in football, like kind of take over, or the ACC, who usually dominates in basketball, kind of take over, and no other conferences or no other schools have chances to even win, because the playing field isn't level anymore, because now athletes are going to want to go to these schools where, okay, they get incentivized more for getting an A than you get incentivized at, like a Fresno State or a Nevada or something like that. So I don't want this to end up being something that's long-term negative for college football and college basketball and stuff, because what we do see a lot in college sports is it is more of a level playing field. Like obviously some schools have slightly better facilities or whatever the case is, but as far as like going into March Madness and stuff, like this kid is kind of low-key getting an opportunity as this other kid, which is why we can see, you know, different schools come in and win it all. Schools that are smaller schools come win it all. But if this kind of takes place, we're going to go back to seeing maybe UCLA winning everything again, or USC, or even UNC and Duke and stuff, because those schools do bring in a lot of money for their programs. So I'm excited that the NCAA now has lost control and the conferences can kind of learn to like manage their own conference and what's going to happen with their student athletes. And I'm excited that the athletes now will get an opportunity to get incentivized for doing good work, because a lot of times players just want to show up to class and just D equals a degree and they just want to pass enough in order to play. But this can kind of actually help players get placed in positions, because most of them are not going to go to the league. It is literally a very small percentage that actually make it to the league. So put them in a place where they actually want to learn, can learn, and be in a good space to learn, so then they can go and be great after they're done with their college career, because a lot of them aren't going to get to play in the league after this. So, but I am worried if there's not a set in stone number that every conference has to abide by, because I think that it can really change the playing field and how some conferences can just even dominate more than they already do just by having like a good name. So Chris, my question is going to be for you. What are your thoughts on all of this? Do you think it's a good thing for college sports, or do you think this it could go for the worst in this situation?
Yeah, I don't know if that's, especially for college, I don't know if that is going to be a good thing overall. Because, like you said, in football alone, like it, you know, even though there are the power colleges and the Alabamas and blah blah blah, yeah. But I feel like in football and basketball, like you're seeing a lot of these colleges, get more opportunities because, like you said, the kids are choosing and they decide where they want to go out because of what they want to do, rather than because UCLA is UCLA, you're supposed to go to UCLA, Kentucky is Kentucky. Obviously there's going to be those kids that do that, but now we're having opportunities where like HBCUs now are getting more opportunities from kids that want to go there and stuff like that. But I mean, if a change like this happens, I mean, it might be nice to do that, it might be cool, and it might make more sense for them and help the HBCU, but it won't necessarily. They could probably get more if they end up going to one of these schools that end up benefiting from the changes like that. So I'm not a big fan about it. I've never been a fan of it with baseball, even though I know, like you said, the Yankees like benefited from that, even though I'm not even a Yankees fan. Yeah. But I'm just not crazy about that idea, and especially not for college, even though I feel like we are in a shift right now where at least for basketball, kids are deciding to, take other options outside of going to school. But I mean, for football too, it's just like, I don't know. I just feel like they just love making things harder on themselves every time they come to make any kind of big decision. And I feel like this is another thing that's just going to mess everything up. And I'm not crazy about this idea.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's cool. Like you see like other schools like be in, even if they don't win, but you see them be in the mix of things, like these schools that you don't normally see. Like everyone loves underdog stories like that. And I feel like something like this would, minimize the opportunity of happening.
Yeah, like we all remember, and we all became a fan of Steph Curry because when their little run was when he was at Davidson in March Madness, and Davidson is a small school. We never would have saw that if maybe these athletes are like, oh no, we're actually just going to go to the Dukes and the Kentuckys and the Kansases and the UNCs because those are the schools that afford to pay me for me getting good grades. Like I don't know, Jackie, what are your thoughts on it?
I like the overall thought of it. I like because like you said, there's so many people that don't go to the league. And, unfortunately I think we've all seen those documentaries that people can really end up in a bad way because they put all of their eggs in this professional basket. And it's not even feasible for most of them. So I like it in theory. But I'm with Chris on this one too. It's like, I'm pro HBCU, so then it kind of, if the HBCUs can't offer these same kind of incentives, then, that kind of puts them out of the running for some of this. And then at the same time, it's exactly like you said, one of the reasons why I love March Madness is to see the little school that gets in, because I don't get to see them on TV regularly. You know what I mean? So it's like when they get into March Madness, that's my opportunity to see them. That's out because I mean, and I would never like dog a student that said, hey, you know, I'm going to go over here because they're going to give me money for good grades. You're a kid. You, especially if you're smart enough to realize, hey, this might not happen for me if I have to get, like, I would never dog a kid for making a decision based on money. But at the same time, it makes it incredibly unfair if this small school isn't able to offer that to them. So I'm with Chris. I'm not a fan of it. I'm a fan of it if they figure out a way to make it fair and equal so that there's a pot that each school can pull from, and you're not getting a huge advantage just because you are the USC or the Duke. But I don't see how they would do that because Duke and USC have these incredible boosters. So even if the NCAA regulated the money, the boosters would still add extra. You know what I mean? So and these small schools just don't have the boosters that these big schools have. So it's going to put too many people at a disadvantage, in my opinion. So as it stands right now, I'm just not a fan.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Like, obviously, we're watching it kind of unfold right now, and it's very, I don't know. I'm in the middle because obviously we don't know like the details of it, and we don't know exactly what this breakdown really means for the conferences. Like, does this just, I mean, has it just been a problem because the NCAA has been in the way of stuff, which they usually are, and now the conferences might do a better job than the NCAA will? So now it's good because the NCAA has nothing to do with what the conferences are doing. But then, like, I don't know, are the conferences ran by actual, like, the presidents and, you know, the people that want the academic side to be good, or is it a conference that's going to be more focused on the athletic side, you know? So I don't know. Yeah, I will keep you guys posted because I'm sure there's going to be another appeal on this, and I'm sure once everything is finalized, they're still going to have to, you know, nitpick through everything and see exactly how this is going to go. But they said they want it done as soon as the new recruits, and because the first thing of letter of intents and commitments go out in November, so they said that they want this done before that because it needs to be ready for that class, because this has already been going on since March 2019. So we shall see.
I think that's too quick. If that's where they are right now, I think November is too quick. It's too soon, but we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that, Britt. We, like you said, you'll update us if anything else happens. I'm looking forward to hearing all about that. But in the meantime, you guys, we're going to be back again tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time with another live show. So make sure you tune in, subscribe to our channel, tap the bell for notifications, leave a comment below, give this video a thumbs up, wash those damn hands, be nice, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Ooh, yeah. Super early.
Chris did it yesterday.
Oh, Chris.